Hold it.
Hey guys, I welcome you to the movie Recapitulate. Today I'm going to explain you the movie The Girl Next Door 2007, which is being directed by Gregory M. Wilson. So, the movie begins in 2007. David Moran witnesses a man hit and run by a car in New York City. He responds to the situation and tries to resuscitate the victim. That evening, he reflects on his past in the summer of 1958, when he meets his first teenage crush, Meg Laughlin. Meg and her disabled sister Susan have lost their parents in a car accident and now are living with their aunt, Ruth Chandler, and her sons, Willie, Ralphie, and Donnie. Ruth freely allows her sons' young friends to her house, where she entertains them and offers them beer and cigarettes. Meanwhile, Ruth starves Meg, subjects her to misogynistic lectures, and accuses her of being a whore whilst her children listen. She even beats Susan's bare buttocks after Meg hates Ralphie when he inappropriately touches her. Meg reports the abuse to Officer Jennings. As punishment, Ruth and her sons bind Meg in the basement and torment her, strip her, and then leave her overnight, hanging by the arms from the rafters. She eventually becomes dehydrated and is unable to even eat the dry toast that Ruth feeds her. Ruth again beats Susan's bare buttocks as punishment for Meg. With Ruth's approval, the neighborhood children visit the Chandler residence to tie, beat, burn, and cut Meg for fun. Ruth cauterizes the wounds Meg receives with cigarettes. David tries to tell his parents but is unable to do so. Officer Jennings checks in once more, answering a call about Meg being used as a punching bag. Before answering the door, Ruth threatens to murder Meg and David if they make a noise in the basement, while Ruth and her sons are upstairs and convince Officer Jennings that they were simply roughhousing. David loosens Meg's bindings and tells her to escape that night, but she is unsuccessful. David returns to the Chandler house and is guided to the basement, where Meg is being raped as punishment for trying to escape. Donnie also wishes to rape Meg, but Ruth dismisses his volunteer because she thinks it is incest for him to skinny dip in his brother's cum. Ralphie then suggests to Ruth that she should cut Meg so that she'll be known as a whore. Ruth agrees and carves the word "I f*** me" on Meg's abdomen with a heated bobby pin. After that, she soon taunts Meg, gloating about how no one can save her from the death she deserves since she will die leaving the Chandler residence soon. Ruth then decides to perform a clitorectomy to remove Meg's sexual desire. David attempts to flee and get help but is caught and tied up and forced to watch Ruth burn Meg's clitoris with a blowtorch. The next morning, David awakes still on the basement floor. He frees himself from his bindings and finds Susan sitting with an unconscious Meg. Susan tells David that Meg failed to escape because she was caught trying to take Susan with her instead of waiting to come back for her. She blames herself for telling Meg about Ruth molesting her, which made Meg hesitant to escape alone. David plans their escape and lights a fire in the basement. As Ruth enters, David vengefully bludgeons her to death with Susan's crutches. Ruth's sons also arrive in the basement with Willie trying to stab David with a knife and Donnie mourning Ruth's death. Officer Jennings intervenes and arrests the Chandler boys. The police take Susan from the basement so that she can testify in court and leave Meg with David for her final moments of her life. She thanks David for what he has done before dying before her injuries. Back in 2007, the adult David reflects on how his past still haunts him to the present day. However, as Meg taunts him, "It's what you do last that counts." Guys, The Girl Next Door is based on the novel of the same name and a series of terrifying events that become a young girl's nightmare. It is based on the torture and murder of young Sylvia Likens in the 1950s. Though the screenplay differs in some areas from the novel, it still captures the brutality of the tomb and fully embraces the events that Sylvia Likens was subjected to. The subject matter of this film is hard to digest, but despite all of this, The Girl Next Door is a well-made movie. It is smartly written and expertly paced. The acting is incredible, with the majority of the cast members being children who possess their talent beyond their years. The Girl Next Door is not just out to showcase violence for the sake of violence. It is about the people, the attitude in the 1950s, and what we humans are willing to do to each other. If you are not easily shocked, I would definitely suggest you to watch this movie. So guys, this was the explanation of the movie The Girl Next Door. If you had liked the video, so do like, do share, and also don't forget to subscribe our channel. See you in the next video.